questions on that before we move on? Cool? Okay, let's look up here. Yes.
How did you get that the y-intercept was 6 and the slope for 2 was 1/2?
Because I subtracted 5 minus 8, change in y, over change in x. And I got 1/2.
Oh,
Change in y over change in x, okay? And then I had to find b, so I took that point, plugged it into y equals mx plus b. It's kind of a mess there, I know. Same process here. Okay, we're going to move on. If you need this, you can look at it later, but here. This is what we're doing today. Takes a little bit of time because we're going to learn on the calculator some stuff. Scatter plot, that's when you have two different quantities that you're representing the relationship on the graph. Positive correlation. If y tends to increase as n increases, basically the dots go up. Okay? Negative correlation, if y decreases as x increases, basically the dots go down. And you can see that. Correlation coefficient, this is new for you. A measure denoted by r, where it's between these two numbers, and it tells us how well a line fits a set of data. I'll show you that in a minute. Best fitting line is when you draw a line through a scatter plot, okay, and come up with the equation of the line that represents those points. So we're going to do that today. Okay, here. Describe the correlation shown by each scatter plot. There's a big screw up on these notes. They didn't print right. These directions here are supposed to be here. So it's really funky, and I apologize about that. Okay? So, describe the correlation shown by each scatter plot. So, these points are generally going up, correct? So it would be what? Positive. As x increases, y also increases. These points are generally going down, so I would call it a what? So if you had to draw a line through here, you would try to carefully draw a line with as many points above as below. And then sometimes it's kind of hard. I don't know, that's sort of okay, but you just got to kind of try and do that if you had to draw a line. And then today, we're going to have the calculator give us the equation of this line, and we're also going to do it by hand. So much fun. Okay? Turn it over. I do want you to write these directions because it's kind of important. Tell whether the correlation, not too big, right? Kind of small. Coefficient, which is R, for the data is closest to -1, -0.5, 0, +0.5, or 1. I know, it's split up. See between the graph? It got all messed up. Okay, so I want you to point to the -1. This means there is a strong correlation. That means that the points tightly fit to the line, except it's negatives going down. And I'll show you one in a minute. +1 means it's a positive correlation and the points fit really close to the line, so it's a really good fit. It's a very good fit. Strong, I'm sorry, I wrote this wrong. Strong positive. Add negative here. What do you think 0 would mean? There's no correlation. They're just all over the place. You can't tell. So if you at negative 0.5, that means the points are going down. The line goes between them, but the points are kind of sort of far away from the line. And we'll look at each one here. So look at this one here. If I draw a line through here, would you call that, it's obviously negative. Would you call it a negative 1 or a negative 0.5? It's just an estimate. Yeah, they're not real tight to the line, are they? So this correlation would be negative 0.5. It's a negative. It's not real. It's not going to be a great fit for that line. What about this one? It's a 0. They're kind of all over the place. Can't say whether it's 0 or positive or negative. What about this one? If I draw a line through here, yeah, it's a pretty strong. The equation you come up with will be pretty accurate for those points. Okay? So it's going to be a strong positive, a 1. It's really just kind of an estimate, okay? Alrighty, here we go. Fun stuff. The table gives a systolic blood pressure Y of patients X years old. Find the best fitting line for the data. Then predict the blood pressure of a 75-year-old patient. So, if you're at home doing this and you can't remember the steps for using the calculator, which I'm about to show you, I can't spell calculator right now. A-T-O-R. Page 116. Tells you how to use the calculator to do this, but I'm going to show you right now too. So we have a set of data here. It's statistics. We're going to enter statistics into our calculator. So, okay. If it's statistics, what button do you think you push to start this? Stat. Stat. So I'm going to kind of write it here. First, you push stat. Then you want to edit the information. You want to edit your statistics. So you're going to push enter. If you have data in here, you need to clean it out. And this is how you do it. No, you just hit stat and edit. Okay. If you want to clear the data, go up to the top, push clear, and go down, and that one's gone. Then you arrow over, go up to the top, push clear, and down, and that's gone. Now, people like to be sneaky. So I would go all the way over and make sure there's no other lists hiding in there, because it'll screw you up. Okay? So stat. And then you're going to insert X and Y. So, I'm going to put all my X's under L1. If yours starts at L2, it's okay. It'll still work. I'll tell you how. Put the numbers in.
I'm so dumb.
So those are my X's. Then I'm going to arrow over and put my Y's in. Now, the calculator will rebel if you don't have the same number of data in each list. Always double check that they line up because it won't work otherwise. Okay? Are y'all good with that? Yeah. All right. Into lists. All right, number 2. Now, it's not asking me to graph this, but I'm going to show you how to graph. You ready? No. You want to plot the statistics. So take a look at the different options. Where do you think you go if you want to plot your statistics?
Stat plot.
Look at that. It says stat plot right there. Stat plot. So second that. Now mine is on already. If you have one of my calculators, it's probably on already. If it's not on, you've got to turn it on. So push enter and turn it on. It's got to look like that.
I can change the color.
How do we go back? Whoa.
To what?
To the script course, yeah.
You want to go to stat plot. Did you go there?
Yeah, I'm on that.
Enter.
Yeah, I pressed enter.
And it's you got to make sure it's blinking on. Yes, are we there?
Yeah.
Okay, you're really going to have to pay attention because I can't. I know you're trying, but just kind of try really hard here. So this is on. It's already on scatter plot. Is yours on scatter plot here? These are all, remember histograms? You can do all that kind of stuff on here. Did you all enter your lists in L1 and L2, or did you have different numbers?
L2.
Okay. Mine is L1 and L2. I'm going to show Danny how to change it. So go down. Here, right? Are you here? Arrow down. Okay, look here. Above the number 1 is L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. So choose whichever one your lists are in. Okay? And then you can choose how you want your dots to look. Obviously, Rosie can choose magenta. Okay, now we're going to, how do you think you want to get the graph?
Hit enter.
Hit graph. Now, yes. Does yours look like mine? No. Because, okay, it might, because you have one of my calculators, right? Listen. Oh, look at your lists. I bet your lists are uneven. You didn't enter the data right. Anyway, listen. Michael, go back to your lists. Now listen. If you want to look like this, you want to tell the calculator, zoom into the statistics. So go to zoom and arrow down until you see zoom stat. There it is, zoom stat. And then you push enter, and then it'll look like mine. Okay, that's your graph. I'll have to look at it later. Now, ladies and gentlemen, shh. You don't have to draw this. I just want to show you how to graph. Now, what our job is to come up with an equation that goes right in between those points that would represent that data. Calculator does it for us, but you can do it by hand too. Okay, so we're going to have the calculator do it. Ready? What are we doing right now? Finding the equation, the best fit equation. Okay, we're going to go back to stat. Go back to stat and over to calculate.
And over to what?
Calc. What do you think we use now? Look at this options here. What do you think we're going to use?
AX plus B.
Linear regression. We're going to find the equation of the line. So we're going to push 4.
Mine still doesn't work.
I'm going to have to fix it later. Enter and enter. Hit enter twice.
So you don't enter anything and you just press enter?
Number 4. Did you do that? Enter and enter.
So click 4.
What?
4 is
You push 4 and then enter, enter.
Oh, you mean L.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
This is what my dad got me, but I don't know.
do you have an R?
No.
Let's turn that on if you don't. If you do, you don't have to do this. There is a place on the calculator that has a catalog of everything that's available. This is the only way I know how to get to it. There might be a quicker way. But if you don't have R right now, down here above the 0 it says catalog. So you want that menu. So go second 0.
Now I have all these fancy.
Now you're going to go to D, diagnostics. Diagnostics on. So go down here and you're going to just turn it on. And it'll be on. And that's cool.
Where is?
I'm sorry,
All
what?
the way to D. Just pull. Diagnostic time.
You click second 0.
Second 0.
Enter. Done.
Enter. And you got to do it twice.
Wait. Diagnostics off or diagnostic on?
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
just done.
Mine says error.
Okay. Did you get this?
Mine just says done.
And don't worry about it too much. If it's not there, it's all right.
So done.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to this screen. Do you all know how to do
Where
that?
was that?
Stat, calc, 4, enter, enter. Stat, calc, 4, enter, enter.
Oh, I got it.
No.
It's okay. I'll have to figure it out. They're all kind of different.
Mine's dim.
It will. We'll get it. Okay, now let's just look at mine. If you don't have it, look at mine. Ready? This is giving me all the information I need to write the equation of the line that fits that data. Okay? I need y equals mx plus b. So which one is the slope in here? It's a. So the m is 0.96. I'm just going to do 2 places. The b is 81.05. Now I can write the equation of line best fit.
Let's try this again. You have a law?
I will help you. Let's just get through this. Okay? So now I have the equation of that line that went through those points. It's beautiful. And I can use that to predict anything. I can predict the blood pressure of a 100-year-old man with this equation. It's probably 0, but you never know. You never know, okay? So this says predict of a 75-year-old. Well, how do I do that using my equation?
Plug it into X.
You just plug 75 into X. And I don't have a number in front of me. Oh, yeah, I do. Prague, about 153. I think that's right. Okay? Alrighty. Oh, by the way, the R here, is this a pretty good fit? Remember we talked about up here. Is that a pretty good fit? Yeah. It's almost 1. It's 0.9. It's a pretty good fit. It's the correlation coefficient. It's these numbers up here we talked about. Okay? Okay, down here, I'm not going to necessarily do this one, but.
Wait, how did you figure out it's 153?
What?
How did you figure out it's 153?
Hold on. Pick 2 points on the line. Oh, if you have 2 points on the line, you know how to find the equation because you practiced it on the other side here, right? You have 2 points on any line, you can find the equation. Find the slope, then find b by plugging a point and the slope into the equation. Use y equals mx plus b. Okay.